Hi, my name is Gudrun from GE Designs. Welcome to part 4, our finale of the Amalie Supersized Quilt-along. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for an amazing day. I see some of you that have been posting, your quilts are coming along fabulously. I cannot wait to see all those gorgeous Amalie Supersized quilts come to life. They're all different sizes, anything from crib size to king size. Now, I hope none of you king sizers started today and finished already. Then that is a record. Wow. I did get my blocks done. Isn't this fabulous? Oh, can you put up the photo of the whole quilt? So Supersized Amalie will stay available as a PDF pattern and include all the videos. All the videos are now in your account. And then, like I said, we will be adding the bonus features, some of the extra tips I gave throughout the live session. But I think this is my layout. The blocks are not sewn together, of course, but I think this is my layout. What do you guys think? I think it's really great. I'm really glad I went with the light colored accent. It kind of lightens it up a little bit. So it could have been great in like a medium gray as well, I think. So I can see that now that I look at it on a scale like that. But this fabric with the large scale abstract prints is perfect for a supersized pattern. You really get to enjoy the prints. And it's just so much fun like that. Gorgeous. Love it. I'm going to have a hard time letting that one out of my hands. Gorgeous. I think it's going to have to be mine.
I'm going to have to do a TikTok with that one.
Oh, yeah. They're going to have to make Amalie dance. You have to make her dance. Yeah. I love it. And so we actually got more root in on Friday, and I think it's almost gone. Don't worry. As long as we can get more, we will get more. But it's fabulous. It's one of those that just, I don't know, it's just got so many opportunities, and it's so cool. It's just so different and so cool. Anyway, so I found some fantastic photos on the crew that you posted from either you guys working, some smiles. We should have had some toast. We're going to toast later on, but let's take a look at some of these amazing photos. I just love the smiles. And let's start with this one. This one cannot be a bigger smile. I love it. So this is Cindy's grandson. And he's working on his Amalie Supersized. He got 2 blocks squared up, and so proud. Great job. So proud of you. And there's Connie working on her first block. We got some eager helpers. I don't know if they're helping. I think Ellen was doing the yoga, and they were just looking at her. Are you okay? What's wrong with you? I love it. Then we got another helper. This one is begging for something, for sure.
Are you done yet?
Heather is asking for a cookie or something. And then some of them just gave up altogether. Yeah, screw this. I'm just taking a nap. Then we have Janet sewing up beautiful peppermint bark. It's never too early to start on those Christmas quilts, you guys. I sew Christmas fabric year round anyway. Why not? And then we have, I'm not sure of the name, so Janice posted both his photos, so I'm not sure which is which. But this, and then the next one is 2 friends, Janice and Mystery Woman, I guess. Beautiful job. I love that accent with that stripe, or that is like a chevron. That's cool. Then we have Jennifer just sewing away. I love that little glass she's got over there on the side. And this is one of my favorite photos of the day. We have Jerry with that. That's a beautiful picture. Look at the on both of them. And I have to say this one. I'm biased, but that's my favorite. So this is Johan, my grandson, sewing with his other grandma. We call her Gaga. He calls her Gaga. And this is special because we FaceTimed last night, and I helped them choose the fabrics They picked the fabrics, and we were going back and forth on what was available there. And so I can't wait to see the baby. They're making the crib size for the new baby coming any day now. So Johan, I'm so proud of you. Amma loves you, and I can't wait to see it when I get there. Then we have Jude's helper. It's very handy for laying out blocks. I know this is what happens every time I put a quilt or blocks on the floor. Kobe thinks that's, oh, thank you, that's mine. I love it. And then we have Laura and her furry assistant. We have Mary Beth and Brenda working across the table from each other. Lovely, lovely space. And we have Mary with her mouse assistant working on her blocks. And here's another beautiful new quilter with a beautiful smile. Look at this. I love it. And I love the fabrics. I love the blocks. Great job. So good. I guess this is like a third of her quilt, but that's all right. Great job. We have Rosemary with a block. Nice bright colors. We have quilters, Seward area quilters. Is that Alaska? I think so. Yes, I love the setup. Hi, Alaska.
Nice mountains in the back.
I know, that's Alaska, that's for sure. That's Seward. I've been there. Spirit is giving us the evil eye, like, stop it. Let me get back to my regularly scheduled program, everybody. Oh, this is so much fun.
So much fun. That's so
I did
awesome.
put together a quick little slideshow. Not a lot of, photos, and I clearly did not get all of them because I was focused on trying to get my blocks trimmed and up there. So I apologize, I didn't get everybody's. But here's a quick one from what I found on the Gudrun's Quilt Crew on Facebook.
I gotta do something here.
Oh, you do? Something going on? Technology's failing us?
Technology.
All right. Well, I should show you this. So if you're done trimming your blocks and you had these little trimmings that they were just too pretty to throw away. Now from my root fabrics, these were just too pretty. So what I did, I just lined them up on my cutting mat and then plopped my ruler on top, and so I could cut off, the bit that has the accent fabric hanging on it. The other end has an angle, so I just chopped two sides. So I ended up with about 10-inch pieces. Now they're not all the same width, and they're a little wonky, some of them, but you know what? It might be fun just to piece them together for a fun little strip to include on the back, or to just do a fun little abstract table topper or something. I don't know. I'm going to play with it. So you can do that if you want to. I have a really hard time throwing away scraps that are extra pretty. I just do. All right, you got the slideshow lined up for us?
Sure do.
All right, let's check it out. And there it is. And there will be many more postings, I hope. You have to, guys, if you are on Facebook, join our group, Gudrun's Quilt Crew, and make sure you post photos of your quilts. It's so much fun to see the starts and then see the final product. We will definitely be doing a slideshow. I usually wait a few weeks to do a full slideshow. We will do one on Tuesday, Tipsy Tuesday this coming week, just with the process and just to make all those people that missed it be a little jealous. But this is such a fabulous pattern to do as a one-day quilt along. If you were sewing for a whole day, you could definitely get this quilt close to being done in a full day, or definitely over a weekend. And I love those types of quilts in between all of those ones that take a little longer. So I think we should pat ourselves on the back and make sure that you weren't expecting to finish in a day when you are also hopping online, doing all these other fun things. The goal of these days should always be have fun, really enjoy the time spent on your hobby, doing what we love, and enjoying the other people, looking at the photos, commenting, and all that stuff. Expectation is the word of the day.
It's the word of the day.
So what's the expectation for participating in a quilt along? Not get as far on your quilt as you can.
To have a good time.
To have a good day. Yes. So cheers to that.
Cheers.
That is our toast to everybody. We loved hanging out with you today. We always do, hanging out with each other. I hope you enjoyed every bit of it. And so cheers to you. Thank you. We appreciate you all day long. Thanks for being a part of it.
You're the best. Mm-hmm. You're the best. I hope you enjoyed yoga too.
Yes, I did. We'll definitely be going back to that. It's so good to take a minute and kind of stretch when you are sewing for a full day. Yes. But I wanted to say, those of you that maybe are doing this full day quilt alongs for the first time, if you enjoyed that, I do have similar things going on actually right now. We have the class pack. We're halfway through the class packs, which is we take 2 different patterns and we work on them in 3 stages, just like we did today, except there's 1 a week. So I take you through 1 a week. It's also self-paced, so you can, the video comes out every week and you can watch it whenever, however many times you want. And then we have our live Zoom day after the 3 sessions of each quilt, which is happening next week. And then we tackle the second quilt starting in February. So that class pack is still open and available if you want to hop on. That's the Katrina and Zoe quilts. And then if you want something a little more that includes interaction with all the quilters that we're sewing today, and that is our virtual retreat. That one takes place over Zoom, so you're able to actually, kind of talk to people, see them you look them in the face. You get to meet people from all over the world again, and really make great connections, along with sewing, all the videos, and then we add a whole bunch of other fun stuff. There's recipes. There's both drinks and food. There's going to be a whole theme to this year's retreat. We're hopping on a cruise. We don't know. You don't know where yet. And there's games, bingo every night, and lectures and question Q&A sessions. It's so much fun. So that is still open. Our registration for retreat closes in a couple of weeks. On last day to register is Valentine's Day, February 14th. So check those things out if you enjoyed this type of direction, and join us. Those of you that have done retreat with us, we had a whole big group. They were communicating on Zoom as they were doing this. I love that. I love the camaraderie that happens at retreat, and you create lifelong connections, and they get nurtured through things like this, events like this. Now, should we take some last minute questions? Any more questions? Have you been paying attention to questions? Not really? That's okay. So I saw one. Could you start with bigger squares so you can have a little more leeway when you're trimming? The problem with that, I'm always thinking about getting the best use out of the fabric. So when you cut full width fabric, 3 14-inch squares is really the largest that you can go. So going 14.5, you wouldn't be able to get 3 squares out of the width of fabric. So that is really was the key to this pattern. But I think the best way, if you are having a hard time trimming to 13, just trim to 12.5. It's not going to really do much for a lap size quilt. It's really only going to make your quilt, I think, 2 inches smaller on the width. So not a major deal, not a major deal. What's the name of the theme music? Is it your composition? Somebody's asking. It's not yours.
It's not mine, but I picked it up.
Picked it up somewhere. We support other musicians that create something, so we license that kind of stuff.
Great artists out there.
Yeah.
When's the next QA?
When's the next quilt along? Well, we always have a strip along in April, so stay tuned for the announcement of the pattern, which is a great way to
Here's a question.
Utilize some of your stash. Where do you put your stripology ruler between cuts? Do you have a ruler stand? So I recommend, if you can, hang it either, or let it sit somewhere flat. Mine usually is just on my cutting table. I have a little wedge under the table that I stand them up. They're kind of wedged with another cutting mat, so they're kind of protected. But I always recommend hanging them. There's a hang hole on the ruler, so hang them up. Really don't lean them anywhere because that can be dangerous. So mine stays on my cutting mat, on my cutting table all the time. I have a little bit smaller cutting table here than I'm used to, so I got myself an extension. I got a big ironing board over here, so it goes over there if I need to clear this area. If you use vac quarters, you can do 15-inch squares. Yes, you totally could, Sharon. You could do 15-inch squares. The only thing when you're trimming, if you start with bigger squares, when you're trimming the block, it's going to be bigger, so it's a little bit harder to fit into the slit. So you might be kind of cutting off little bits a lot. So that is the only thing. I do try everything and think of most things. No alternative layout for the Amalie pattern. Yes, there is. You can turn all the blocks the same way and just get kind of a diagonal pattern. But I think the cool thing is when you create those tiny little pinwheels, is really the cool thing about this pattern. It really creates the kind of movement, and also placing the triangles, the small to the large, that creates the movement as well. All right. I hope you choose a strip along in April using 1.5-inch strips. We always do 2.5-inch strips, Carol, so sorry. I have numerous quilts with 1.5-inch strips, but that doesn't mean that you couldn't just use 1.5-inch strips if you wanted to. So I have numerous. I always choose an older strip pattern, 2.5-inch strip pattern, and then I tweak it a little bit, maybe add some different layout option, add a little thing to it so that we can, and stripologize it, because my older strip patterns don't use the rulers. Do you have a list of all the quilt alongs we have done? So we have 7. We've done the 7 full day ones, just a one day. We've done multiple ones where we do them just during a Tipsy Tuesday, so there's a week between steps. But the one day ones are Elvira, Hope, Harmony, and then there's June and Phoenix and Kimberly, and then now Amalie Supersized. So that's only in a little over, well, let's see, almost less than 3 years. So I think that's pretty dang good.
Pretty good.
Yeah, we did more, of course, when everybody was locked down in their houses and needed things to do. Can you talk about borders and binding? No borders on this quilt and the design. That's intentional because I feel like, my opinion, I don't feel like it needs a border. I feel like the edges and the pattern coming out to the edge, I really like that. Doesn't mean that you can put a border. You can put a border on any quilt, of course. That's totally optional. I do my bindings by machine. I have numerous videos on binding, so you can check those out. I do machine because it's faster. It's going to hold better through washes and tugs and fort making and anything else. So that's what I do that. Is it okay to square my blocks to 12 inches? Yes. It's not going to change anything but the size and the little bit of the dimension of the block. You can keep going down as long as you're always trimming from the center, so it's symmetrical. You're good. So you can go down. So if you started with a little bit smaller squares and 12.5 is still not small enough, just go down to 12. All right, is that it?
Nope.
Nope. Name of accent you used for root. It's called X's and O's, I think. It has just a very slight pattern. I can show you here in the overhead from my scraps. It has little gray pluses or X's. Oops, can you see this? So little gray ones, and then there's circles that are colored, different colors. So it worked out perfectly for this. But you can use any light fabric. As you can see, when you step away from it, if you're looking at it from here, it really looks like it doesn't have a pattern. Really doesn't. Where do we post our photos? So if you're on Facebook, make sure you join our closed group. It's called Gudrun's Quilt Crew. If you go to our page on Facebook, GE Quilt Designs on Facebook, there's a link there to the group. Join it, and that's the best place to post photos. If you're not on Facebook, feel free to email them to help@gequiltdesigns.com of your finished quilt so we can include it in the last slideshow. Can you use 2 accent colors? Absolutely. You can do multiple. I've done one where I just did scrappy accent. They were all in the same color family, but you can do whatever you want, because once you see the layout, you can kind of see how you can play with different things going on. All right, we'll take a couple of more questions. Helma's asking.
We didn't have no chocolate cake.
We never had the chocolate
Couldn't
cake.
find it.
I think we're gonna have to keep looking. Mm-hmm. I think it extends into today. Yeah. Somebody asked about if I have a long arm quilting design in mind for my quilt. No, not yet. It's gonna be an all over pattern. I like doing all over patterns with scrappy quilts like that. I'll have to find something really cool and modern for this one because it's so unique. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, if we don't have any more questions, I want to just repeat. Oh, let's do our winner, live winner.
I do that.
Thank you for all of your comments and beautiful encouragements, and we love it. So thank you all for a wonderful day. We really appreciate it. Hanging out with us, and see us, come back and see us on Tuesday, Tipsy Tuesday, 4 p.m. Central Time. Same place where you're watching now, YouTube and Facebook.
What else?
And of course, happy Friday on Friday. That's going to be at 12 noon Central Time. And we have another dranky drink ready and always a new recipe on Fridays. And show and tell. Show and tell on Fridays. It's really worth. I love that new segment.
Drum roll.
Okay, drum roll, everybody. Our winner for part 4 of our quilt along is Paula Baker. Congratulations. Make sure you send us an email to help@gequiltdesigns, and we will get your prize next week. Thank you, everybody. Again, from the bottom of our hearts, Scowl, cheers. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Keep smiling, putting those blocks together, and I can't wait to see all of your finished quilts. Bye, everybody.
See ya.